These 6 individuals were living their final moments, unaware that their cameras were recording what would become their last testament. From professional photographers to thrill seekers, each believed they were documenting triumph. Instead, they captured tragedy. These are the stories of footage so disturbing. It was June 14, 2015, and the morning fog clung to the dramatic coastline of Big Sur as Elena Vasquez positioned her camera equipment along the clifftop ceremony site. The exclusive cliffside resort commanded breathtaking views 400 feet above the Pacific Ocean, where waves crashed against jagged rocks that had claimed countless victims over the decades. The wealthy couple had specifically requested Elena for her reputation of capturing death-defying wedding photos that would dominate social media feeds. Elena had built her photography business on dramatic cliff-edge shots that other photographers were too cautious to attempt. At 29, she had photographed over 200 weddings, each more daring than the last as couples demanded increasingly extreme backdrops for their special day. Her Instagram portfolio showcased brides and grooms posed mere inches from deadly drops, creating images that generated thousands of likes and lucrative referrals. The cliffside resort location had been Elena's suggestion after the couple expressed disappointment with boring traditional venues. She had scouted the site 3 weeks earlier, noting the unstable sandstone edges, but dismissing the danger in favor of the spectacular photographic opportunities. Recent winter storms had further eroded the cliff face, creating overhangs that appeared solid but were actually death traps waiting to collapse. Elena's assistant operated a backup camera from a safe distance while Elena moved closer to the precipice, her professional camera set to burst mode to capture every moment of the ceremony. The couple trusted her expertise completely, following her directions to pose closer to the edge while she backed up to frame the perfect shot that would justify their $15,000 photography fee. Elena's camera recorded in burst mode as she directed the couple to look more romantic while backing toward the cliff edge. The sequence of photos showed her shadow growing longer as she stepped backward, completely focused on her viewfinder rather than the crumbling ground beneath her feet. Her professional instincts demanded the perfect angle, even as warning signs of loose rock went unnoticed. The final frames captured the moment the cliff edge gave way beneath Elena's feet, the camera tipping wildly as she realized her mistake. The images were a chaotic blur of crumbling rock, jagged coastline, and glimpses of her terrified hands as she fell, her scream echoing off the canyon walls while wedding guests watched in horror. The camera, encased in its professional protective case, tumbled over the cliff, smashing against jagged rocks. Its body and lens were destroyed, but the memory card inside survived, preserving the last images Elena had taken. Coast Guard rescue teams recovered her body and the wrecked equipment 3 hours later, using the memory card to piece together the tragic sequence of events. The final photos on her memory card became crucial evidence in the lawsuit against the resort for inadequate safety barriers. Elena's death led to new regulations requiring safety equipment at all clifftop wedding venues, while her final photographs were sealed by court order, but became legendary warnings in photography circles about the deadly cost of the perfect shot. It was May 20th, 2013, and the Oklahoma sky churned with the ominous rotation that veteran storm chasers recognized as the precursor to catastrophic destruction. Jake Morrison adjusted his dashboard cameras as he drove toward Moore, Oklahoma, where an EF5 tornado was forming with winds that would soon exceed 200 miles per hour. His modified chase vehicle bristled with recording equipment while 5,000 viewers watched his live stream, many encouraging him to get closer to the massive storm system. Jake had built his YouTube following by getting dangerously close to tornadoes, earning 4,000 subscribers who craved the adrenaline rush of his near-death encounters with nature's most violent phenomena. At 34, he had been chasing storms for 8 years, each season pushing closer to the deadly vortexes that had made him internet famous. His sponsors demanded increasingly dramatic footage, and Jake delivered by ignoring safety protocols that kept other chasers alive. His chase vehicle had been modified with reinforced windows and a roll cage, but these safety features were designed for debris impacts, not direct tornado encounters. Jake's wife had left him 6 months earlier, taking their 2 children and citing his reckless behavior as grounds for divorce. She had begged him to find safer content, but Jake was addicted to the rush of fame and the substantial income his dangerous videos generated. His therapist had diagnosed him with an addiction to risk-taking behavior, but Jake dismissed the sessions as unnecessary interference with his career. The storm-chasing community had ostracized Jake after he violated their unwritten code of safety, with veteran chasers refusing to share weather data or coordinate with someone they considered a dangerous amateur. His isolation from the professional community meant he relied solely on public weather reports and his own judgment, missing crucial information about the tornado's unprecedented strength and erratic behavior patterns. Jake's equipment setup included 6 cameras positioned throughout his vehicle, designed to capture every angle of his encounters with severe weather. His dashboard displayed real-time wind speed measurements, GPS coordinates, and live stream viewer counts that had become more important to him than actual safety data. The chat feed scrolled constantly with messages from viewers betting on whether he would survive each encounter, treating his life-threatening stunts like entertainment rather than the deadly serious situations they represented. Weather experts had been broadcasting urgent warnings for storm chasers to maintain safe distances from what meteorologists were calling a once-in-a-decade tornado outbreak. But Jake saw opportunity where others saw danger, believing that unprecedented footage of an EF5 tornado would finally land him the television contract he had been pursuing. His live stream chat exploded with excitement as he announced his intention to drive directly into the tornado's path. The National Weather Service had issued its most severe tornado warning in years, with meteorologists pleading for all storm chasers to evacuate the area immediately. Jake ignored these warnings, convinced that his modified vehicle and years of experience would protect him from the unprecedented storm system bearing down on Moore. His final social media post before entering the tornado's path read, "As going to get footage that will change everything. Wish me luck." Jake's dashboard camera captured him laughing and joking about the incredible footage as the tornado grew larger in his windshield, its massive funnel stretching from the ground to the storm clouds above. His final words to his audience were, he shouted to the live stream viewers that this would be his most famous footage yet, his excitement barely masking the danger surrounding him. As he accelerated toward the outer circulation of the deadly vortex, debris already beginning to pelt his reinforced windshield with increasing intensity. Debris began striking Jake's vehicle as he drove into the tornado's outer circulation, and his excited commentary quickly turned to alarm when a piece of flying metal shattered his windshield. The dashboard camera recorded the final chaotic moments, the vehicle being violently lifted, slammed, and tossed by the tornado. Within seconds, the extreme winds and flying debris destroyed the equipment, and the live stream abruptly ended, cutting off all images and sound. Many viewers watched the live stream of Jake, but the signal cut out before the tornado completely overtook his vehicle. Some viewers captured the brief footage before it was removed by platform moderators. Search and rescue teams found his mangled vehicle and body 2 miles from where he had entered the tornado's path, scattered among the debris of destroyed homes and businesses. Jake's final video became a cautionary tale about extreme storm chasing, while YouTube implemented new policies restricting live streams of dangerous activities after his death, sparked international controversy about the responsibility of social media platforms. It was October 31st, 2017, and the abandoned Bethlehem steel plant loomed against the Pennsylvania sky like a monument to industrial decay. Marcus Chen adjusted his helmet camera as he approached the massive facility, its rusted structures and broken windows creating the perfect Halloween atmosphere for his urban exploration blog. The plant had been closed for decades, leaving behind a maze of unstable buildings, toxic chemical tanks, and deep industrial pits that made it one of the most dangerous abandoned sites in America. Marcus had built his following by documenting the decay of America's Rust Belt, specializing in abandoned industrial sites that other explorers avoided due to safety concerns. At 26, he had explored over 100 abandoned locations, each more dangerous than the last, as he sought unique content for his popular blog. His followers craved the thrill of vicarious danger, and Marcus delivered by venturing into places where few dared to tread. The steel plant had been on Marcus's exploration list for months, requiring extensive research into its layout and potential hazards. He had studied old blueprints and safety reports, but nothing could have prepared him for the extent of deterioration that decades of abandonment had caused. His decision to explore alone on Halloween night was driven by his belief that the spooky atmosphere would create compelling content for his upcoming blog post. Marcus's urban exploration career had started innocently enough, with abandoned houses and empty shopping malls, but his audience demanded increasingly dangerous content as his following grew. His girlfriend had broken up with him 3 months earlier, citing his obsession with dangerous locations and his refusal to consider her safety concerns. She had begged him to stick to safer abandoned buildings, but Marcus was convinced that extreme content was the only way to stand out in the crowded urban exploration community. His blog had generated enough income to quit his day job as a graphic designer, but the pressure to maintain his audience meant constantly escalating the danger level of his explorations. Marcus had been hospitalized twice in the past year, once for a tetanus infection from rusty metal, and another time for chemical burns from an abandoned factory's residual toxins. Each incident only seemed to fuel his determination to push further into places that rational people avoided. The Bethlehem steel plant represented the ultimate challenge for Marcus's Halloween special, a location so dangerous that even veteran urban explorers had warned him against attempting it. His research had revealed that the plant contained numerous chemical storage tanks, unstable structures, and deep industrial pits filled with decades of toxic waste. But Marcus saw these hazards as features rather than bugs, believing that the extreme danger would translate into viral content that would cement his reputation in the urban exploration community. His equipment setup included multiple cameras positioned throughout his gear, emergency flares, and a satellite communicator that he rarely used because it interfered with the authentic experience his audience expected. Marcus had dismissed suggestions from other explorers to bring a partner, convinced that solo exploration created more compelling content and allowed him to take risks that safety-conscious companions might prevent. Marcus's headlamp illuminated rusted machinery and chemical tanks as he descended into the plant's basement levels, narrating his exploration for his future audience. His chest-mounted backup camera captured him following what appeared to be a maintenance tunnel, stepping confidently onto a metal grating that looked solid but had been weakened by years of corrosion and chemical exposure. The grating's support beams had been eaten away by decades of acid rain and chemical runoff, creating a death trap that appeared deceptively stable to the untrained eye. Marcus moved steadily across the grating, his headlamp casting shaky light over the tunnel floor. A sudden, sharp crack echoed through the metal beneath him, stopping him mid-step. Before he could react or shift his weight back, the weakened support beams tore loose with a shriek, and the entire section dropped away beneath his feet. His chest camera caught the sudden jolt as the floor vanished, a flash of his hands shooting out instinctively toward the collapsing edges, the headlamp beam whipping wildly across the tunnel walls, and the sickening rush of air as he plunged nearly 60 feet into the darkness below. Marcus's body wasn't discovered for 3 weeks, when other urban explorers found his equipment near the collapsed grating. The chest camera's memory card, protected by a waterproof housing, revealed his final moments and helped investigators understand the accident, while the toxic chemicals in the tank required a hazmat team for body recovery. His death led to increased security at abandoned industrial sites, while his final video became a training tool for urban exploration safety courses, serving as a permanent reminder of the deadly risks hidden in America's abandoned places. It was August 3, 2018, and the Los Angeles skyline glittered in the afternoon sun as Sophia Williams prepared for the stunt that would change her life forever. The 23-year-old social media influencer had gained 5,000 Instagram followers by performing increasingly dangerous rooftop stunts across the city, and today's live stream would either secure her financial future or end her career permanently. Over 4,000 viewers were already watching as she prepared to walk across the 6-inch wide ledge, running around the edge of the 30-story rooftop. Sophia had built her brand on death-defying content that other influencers were too afraid to attempt, turning her fearlessness into a lucrative career that attracted major sponsorship deals. The energy drink company had offered her $10,000 to perform this particular stunt during a live stream, enough money to secure her independence and prove that social media could be a legitimate career path. Her parents had begged her to find safer content, but Sophia was addicted to the adrenaline and attention that dangerous stunts provided. The rooftop location had been scouted weeks earlier, with Sophia practicing the route once during daylight hours when she could focus entirely on the crossing. but live streaming added a dangerous element of distraction, as she would need to interact with her audience while balancing on the 6-inch wide concrete ledge 300 feet above the busy street. Her confidence was bolstered by previous successful stunts, but she had never attempted anything this dangerous while divided between performance and survival. Sophia's phone camera captured her confident smile as she stepped onto the narrow ledge, her designer sneakers gripping the concrete, while she waved to her growing audience. The live stream showed her losing focus as she tried to read comments from viewers, many of whom were encouraging her to take even bigger risks for their entertainment. Her attention split between the deadly crossing and her phone screen as engagement numbers climbed higher than ever before. A sudden gust of wind caught Sophia off guard, and her phone continued streaming as she fought to maintain balance on the narrow ledge. The camera recorded a frantic blur of motion, her arms windmilling, the skyline spinning wildly, and her terrified scream was audible to thousands of viewers before the feed cut out mid-fall. Viewers flooded the chat in panic, realizing she had never resumed the stream. Emergency responders later found Sophia's body on the crushed roof of a sedan, her shattered phone scattered across the sidewalk. Viewers had already saved and shared the brief clip from the live stream, and it spread across social media before platforms could remove it, sparking international debates about online responsibility. The incident reignited public debate about social media's role in encouraging dangerous stunts. Instagram faced pressure to limit risky live stream content, and Sophia's final broadcast was soon used in digital ethics courses as a case study on the dark side of viral fame. It was April 7, 2014, and One World Trade Center rose majestically into the New York sky as construction crews put the finishing touches on America's tallest building. Tommy Rodriguez adjusted his mandatory body camera as he began his routine safety inspection on the 89th floor, 1,100 feet above the bustling streets of Manhattan. The 41-year-old construction foreman had spent 20 years building the city's skyline, and this final safety check would clear the way for the building's official opening ceremony. Tommy had worked on dozens of skyscrapers throughout his career, earning a reputation for meticulous attention to safety protocols that had kept his crews alive through countless dangerous situations. The body camera was part of new safety measures implemented after several high-profile construction accidents, designed to document proper procedures and identify potential hazards before they became fatal. His experience and caution had made him the perfect choice for this critical final inspection. The inspection had revealed a loose safety cable that posed a potential hazard to future maintenance workers, and Tommy faced a choice between waiting for the specialized safety crew or fixing the problem himself. His 20 years of experience made the repair seem routine, and the pressure to complete the building on schedule influenced his decision to handle the issue personally rather than delay the opening ceremony. Tommy's body camera recorded him leaning over the building's edge to reach the loose cable, his safety harness appearing secure as he stretched toward the wayward line. The footage showed his confident movements as he worked to secure the cable, completely unaware that his harness clip contained a manufacturing defect that had gone unnoticed during routine inspection. His experience had taught him to trust his equipment completely, a trust that would prove fatal. The camera captured the exact moment Tommy's harness clip failed, and he began to fall. His body and the camera tumbled through the air, spinning violently as he plummeted toward the plaza below. The footage became chaotic and disorienting, showing brief flashes of sky, building edges, and the city far below as the camera spun wildly during his descent. The recording captured fragments of his terrified screams mixed with the rushing wind, but no clear view of his face or precise movements during the fall. Tommy's body was found on the plaza below, the body camera destroyed on impact, but its memory card recovered from the wreckage. The fragmented footage revealed that the harness's locking carabiner had a hairline crack that snapped under load, leading to a massive recall of defective safety equipment, while the construction company faced criminal charges for inadequate inspection protocols. Tommy's final video became mandatory viewing in construction safety training programs, serving as a permanent reminder that even the most experienced workers are only as safe as their equipment allows. It was September 8, 2016, and Snake River Canyon stretched before Ryan "Rocket" Johnson like the ultimate test of his daredevil career. The 35-year-old professional stunt performer had spent 2 years planning his attempt to recreate Evel Knievel's famous canyon jump using modern rocket-powered motorcycle technology. Multiple cameras positioned around the 1,500-foot canyon gap would capture every angle of the jump for a documentary about modern daredevils, while Ryan's helmet camera would provide the most intimate footage of his historic attempt. Ryan had calculated every aspect of the jump with scientific precision, studying wind patterns, trajectory angles, and landing zone requirements with the help of aerospace engineers. His specially modified motorcycle incorporated the latest rocket technology and dual parachute systems designed to ensure a safe landing on the canyon's far side. Weather conditions were perfect, with minimal wind and clear visibility that would allow the cameras to capture every moment of his flight. The documentary crew had been following Ryan's preparation for months, documenting his training regimen and the technical challenges of recreating one of stunt history's most famous failures. Ryan's confidence was absolute as he revved his rocket-powered motorcycle, believing that modern technology would succeed where Evel Knievel had failed decades earlier. His helmet camera captured his pre-jump routine as he accelerated down the launch ramp toward the canyon edge. Ryan's helmet camera recorded him accelerating to nearly 200 miles per hour under rocket thrust as he raced toward the launch ramp, the horizontal speed calculated to carry him safely across the 1,500-foot gap. The Snake River was visible far below as his motorcycle launched perfectly into the air, the rocket motor propelling him forward while multiple cameras captured the historic leap from every angle. The camera recorded the moment Ryan's primary parachute deployment system malfunctioned, failing to slow his descent as he reached the apex of his jump. As he began to fall, the helmet camera footage became increasingly chaotic and disorienting, spinning and tumbling violently as Ryan and his motorcycle plummeted toward the canyon floor. The shaky footage captured glimpses of his desperate attempt to deploy the backup chute, but the violent motion made it impossible to see clear details of his actions. It took rescue crews nearly 6 hours to recover Ryan's body and motorcycle, as the steep canyon walls and loose rock made descent dangerous. Rappelling teams had to secure anchor points before reaching the crash site, and a helicopter was eventually used to airlift the wreckage out at sunset. The helmet camera was destroyed on impact, but investigators were able to recover part of the memory card. Only fragments of the footage were salvageable, showing Ryan's jump, the moment of parachute failure, and a few seconds of his struggle before the data cut off. Forensic inspection of the recovered parachute hardware revealed clean tool marks on the primary deployment pin and residue from a cutting blade on the backup chute lines, clear signs of deliberate tampering. Investigators traced the sabotage to a disgruntled former crew member who had recently been dismissed from the project. The fragmented helmet footage showed Ryan's final moments, while the forensic findings confirmed the cause of the disaster. The documentary featuring Ryan's jump was completed posthumously, serving as both a tribute to his courage and a warning about the deadly consequences when safety systems fail. Thanks for watching. Click the next video for more stories that will show some risks are never worth taking, no matter how many people are watching.